Yeah, on the internet.
You said don't say anything crazy.
Oh my god.
Don't say anything too crazy.
Anything too
Internet
crazy.
live.
I mean, the internet is a crazy place as it is. I
Yes.
bought a set of kidneys the other day for like $20. It's
Jeez.
great.
Wow, that's a damn good deal.
Matching set.
Yep.
What?
What animal do they belong to?
Numbers matching. I have no idea. It doesn't even matter. Numbers matching.
Well, it does. I mean, especially when you put it in a haggis, it has to be either a lamb.
As long as it's organic, right? Like naturally grass-fed kidneys.
Yeah.
Yeah, that counts.
that works too. Yeah.
For sure. And intro.
Cause I can't wait, no, on a loaded gun. Can't go slow when I'm ready to run. No, I don't mean well, but I mean no harm. So guess it's better if you sound the alarm. By the way, I can't sit still, I can't think straight. I know better than to complicate. It's my fault, it's too late. I know I'm better than this. Can't help the feeling that there's something I miss. But I guess the casualties were well with the risk. Cause I don't know what I'm doing and I don't know if I ever will.
Yes. Outstanding.
That's right.
Wow. What band was that?
Oh my gosh!
Now it's more
werewolves.
hair.
You're
With
pretty
like
badass.
50% more hair.
Yes.
Like 200%
You're
more
right.
hair.
Yeah.
Infinity percent more hair,
Yeah.
technically.
Yeah, look at that guy right there. That is the same dude who was in that video when he
Yeah.
was so young.
That babyface guy with the tie.
Yeah.
I was gonna say when you guys popped up, I was like, look like babies.
We've matured as a band.
Oh, yes.
Isn't that how it starts? Like when a band gets started, they're all like baby face and short hair and shit. And
Trying to do something
Prim and
cool with
proper.
like their suits and ties and
Right.
whatever.
I honestly don't think I look much different, but it's fine.
You really don't.
No, I
You don't.
don't.
You got
It's
this,
the
you got
golf ball
this fun
cheeks.
colored shirt now.
Yeah, I've changed my shirt since
Yeah.
then. It's a big step for me.
so we have Thrown Out Bones in the house. Thank
Yes.
you for
What's up,
joining
y'all?
us.
Hey.
So I had to, or first thing I want to say is I appreciate that the name of your band is grammatically correct.
Yes.
Yeah, I actually specifically was like, hey, can we get that hyphen?
Yeah, you
Yeah,
got to put the
I had to
hyphen
go
in
back
there.
and everything and put that back in there. Unfortunately, all the stuff that's been posted is too late. Can't fix that. But
Hey,
this stuff for
Past
sure.
is the past.
it's on the internet forever.
That's right.
That's
All
true.
all of your regrets.
Okay, it's better than when people accidentally write like thrown up bones.
Ooh.
And then they're like,
Yeah.
Or thrown out
No.
blues.
Yeah.
Oh god.
or just like the bones.
The
The
bones,
bones.
yeah.
So close.
We sound so much harder when you call us that.
I
Yeah.
mean,
So how did you guys come up with that name?
oh, dear.
Ooh.
It's a long
Story
story,
time.
actually.
Let's
yeah.
go. We got
Yeah.
time. We got
Yeah.
time.
Yeah. So early band was oh,
Yes.
good.
Ugh.
Yeah, our early band. So Lil and I have been playing music together since middle school, actually.
Wow.
And it went through various iterations that I'm not even going to discuss because they don't matter. But the band was called, to all intents and purposes, PFL for a couple of years, fair number of years, most of high school, and then got kind of tired of the name. But meanwhile, we had been practicing in Lil's parents' house. They decorate the place in a very interesting way. They had a paper Halloween skeleton hanging there, which we chose to name a PFL, Peter Lucas Fillmore, which
Whoops.
is actually a PLF.
Whoopsie
We made a lot of meetings for our acronym, and often they were wrong. So that one was wrong. But he was our greatest fan because he came to all our rehearsals. And then let's see, as we were going through all of these, geez, I think a band is harder to name than a baby, or like probably anything. It's
Yes.
like because you have more people with more opinions and they all have different feelings. But we're like yelling at each other for hours about band names, and eventually we find Peter Lucas Fillmore in the trash.
No.
Oh
This
no.
band is falling apart.
Oh, no.
Like Peter there, and Peter's like, stop fighting. But then we were like, I think I just like contacted them, and I was like, guys, I found our bones, like Peter Lucas. And then we were like, I think I might have said our thrown out bones.
Yeah, somebody said like, "Who cares? Throwing out bones or something."
Something like
and
that.
I think Nathan was the one that said like, "There's no sense crying over some thrown out bones or something,
Something
like that."
like
Something
that.
like that.
So we're like,
And
oh,
then-
shout out.
And then all of a sudden, it's like, what?
Whoa!
Kind of stuff.
Say that again.
Got him. Yeah,
What?
yeah. And then I was like, okay, well, you can
That's
throw out
better
all these-
than Banana. Or whatever the other name was.
That was honest to God.
Close
Yeah,
second.
our old bass player / sax player was really big into banana, which was banana with an extra syllable.
But thrown out bones.
love you,
felt a
Nathan,
little
by
bit,
the way,
yeah.
wherever you are.
Which is, some fans have lovingly referred to themselves as boners. So,
Ah!
so many things. Also, when we
Yes.
get old, we really
Yes.
shot ourselves in the foot for thrown out bones, like
Right.
bodies.
Really starting to look like that
Cool.
paper Halloween skeleton.
Well, I will live that Keith Richards quote about, I'd
Oh,
rather be
yes.
dead than playing at 70. It's like, no,
Yeah.
I'll be there.
I'll be
I'll
playing
be
with
there.
that, for sure. For
I'll
sure.
be there.
That's pretty cool. Like, so how long did it take you guys arguing about changing the name? How long did that take?
It was a few months.
The way you
yeah.
talked about it seemed like it was forever.
It was like, it felt like forever. I mean, because we're talking like hours where like people came with a little notepad on their phone and they're like, this name. Everybody's like, well, whatever. Okay, this name. I
It has
really
so
like
much-
this one.
It has so much
Yeah.
meaning.
Yeah,
Like, it's got this
I'm
really,
bearing my soul over and over again. But also, it was like there had been kind of a current to change the name for a long time.
Right.
So it was like it felt like forever. I think because in some ways it was forever.
right.
There was a point when it was me and three guys. That's how math works. No,
Four.
four
Yeah.
guys, and it
Four
was
men.
Liliana and the Magic 8 Balls was what it was going to be.
Hey.
That one dropped. Ah!
Hey.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. I will agree, like choosing a name for anything that you do, because I know that whenever we went back and forth
Oh
for
yeah.
a while about off the record.
we were butting heads to
Yeah.
the point of where the podcast wasn't happening
yeah.
because we couldn't agree on the fucking name.
Right. And so we resulted to putting all of our ideas in a wheel and spinning it and see what it landed on.
And that's what-
that's what it landed on.
That's what
So
we're
Very
on.
good.
'cause-
Yep.
It was like a series of words, and off the record was
Well,
the order that it came
we,
out
we
in.
both had our own different ideas, and I didn't
Yeah.
like any of her ideas. She didn't like any of mine,
Perfect.
and so we basically
Classic.
agreed. Yeah, basically agreed. Just put them all in a random generator. Let's see what happens. Well, not generator.
It was
A-
it's
a
a
random
little
wheel.
Yeah, like a random selector, and off the record is the one that we landed on.
Yeah.
And now I wouldn't fucking change it for anything.
And I am very fucking indecisive anyway, because my oldest son didn't have a name for 4 days. I flipped a coin and crossed off names on a list for first name and middle name. And he was 4 days old, and I finally picked his name.
His
That's
name is
amazing.
Heads or Tails.
Hey.
Yeah. Like we
She's
went,
good. She's
we went
good.
through, and the nurse came in. She's like, "You have to fill out the birth certificate." And I'm like, "I'm still deciding."
Who was just in labor for 24 hours, man?
What if they become president in the meantime?
right?
I'm very glad you guys mentioned that random name thing because I did not set up the contest at all.
Oh,
I completely forgot about it.
So
Okay.
no contest.
No, I'm getting to it. You guys are just gonna have to miss me for a second.
So speaking of contest, we do have a contest to win tickets for Friday night show to see these guys. So don't enter it yet, but
Yeah.
it's hashtag LATR to win tickets to check out Throwing Up Bones this Friday night at Legacy. So we'll tell you when. You can start putting in the hashtags. Don't do it yet, but yeah. So we have comments.
Give me
Wanna-
one moment.
Oh, you got to use it,
Happening
don't you?
live. Wow.
Yeah, this is-
Yeah.
feeling a little anxiety about it.
That's what it's supposed to feel like.
I guess that's been a thing lately because I had like half of my training class with anxiety before they were released. I don't want to do this.
If it makes you feel any better, I have no anxiety at the moment.
Oh my god!
At least none that's my own.
I'll foist some upon you.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, we can donate some. I'll happily donate all my anxiety.
absolutely. Just bring it on.
Yeah, I'm the same way. I rarely feel anxiety. which
Yeah.
is great, but also I feel like I don't sense social anxiety.
Right.
So I'm like, I'm not very good at reading a room.
You just
so I just word vomit everywhere.
I totally just realized that we jumped right into, hey, how'd you come up with the name? We didn't have you guys introduce yourself.
Oh yeah.
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 My name. Oh, snap.
Who are you? Where are you from? How's your mom and them?
My mom's doing great, thanks.
I didn't spend any time deciding the name that I came out with. That was all my mom's doing.
Okay.
My name is Sam.
Yeah.
Great name.
Nice,
Great
nice
name.
to meet you guys. Thanks for having us.
And wait. I'm sorry, Sam. What do you do?
I play the bass guitar.
Play bass guitar.
I mean,
Deep bass frequencies.
yes, very very low. Like I try not to bring it above
You
like
slap at
60
the
hertz.
bass. That's
Classy
ridiculous.
man.
That's ridiculous.
I'm exclusively sub.
We like to say that.
Whoa.
Oh, that's another thing. We like to say
Whoa.
that Sam is a lead bass player.
There we go.
Yeah, it's actually
Crazy
it's
effects
actually,
pedal.
that actually was totally a lie the way what I just said because I tend to play a lot more melodically. I like to take bass solos. I mean, what even are those?
It's pretty common that people try to give me credit for things that Sam did. They're like, "Hey, man, that was some really cool like shit you did at the beginning of that song." And I'm like,
Yeah, that wasn't me.
My hands weren't even on my guitar.
which I think that that brings up the important topic of we need to give bass players more
We
visibility.
appreciate our bass players. Sam, I appreciate you, buddy.
This
Oh,
band is
yeah.
truly about bringing the rhythm section to the front ground.
Especially
Yeah.
bass players that are doing more.
Forget the guitarist.
We don't even like that guy.
Especially bass players that are doing more than playing, single notes. Following along with the guitar player. Yeah, we need to give those guys more visibility.
Totally. Yeah. I mean, I think all bass players are valid.
Absolutely.
Honestly, so this is kind of interesting because the way I kind of like came up with my own style was because I joined a band of like high school friends. This was before I knew about these two people.
Oh, we don't like hearing about
Um,
that.
Yeah,
But,
we were secret.
I started. These were friends I knew. Actually, these are friends I knew from church way back in the day. And we started playing music together. I actually started on the keyboard, the doodly doots, and
How did that go?
it was short lived.
The doodly doodly doo.
Yeah, I could play
There's
a
a
couple
story
notes,
for that, too.
one at a time. But no, so one of my friends who was originally playing bass decided that he wanted to play guitar because guitar players are just cooler, and so he didn't. He had this like kind of like like the $100 like Squier bass guitar package that you get from like Guitar Center, where it's got like a bass guitar, an amp, and a cable.
It's like a single box that's
It's
like
like-
this, and then it has a big like
Yeah.
out where it's
Yeah,
like,
so-
yes, the speaker is there.
He had one of those, and he just didn't want to use it anymore, and so because he was switching over to guitar, so he was like, "Hey Sam, try this," and literally just like gave it to me, like put it on my body. And I was like, "All right, let's try this out," and that's kind of like it just stuck.
His body.
It came with the strap. It came with the strap.
Yeah.
like your underwear.
Yes. Hey. Yeah, but then I started, we started, playing, practicing, getting better, and I was just like I can do this. Like I can play these root notes. I can maybe I can play a fifth or an octave.
Hey,
Like, whoa, like this is cool.
whoa!
And then from there, I
Don't
was
get
just
too
like,
crazy on that.
I know. I was
Roots
then I-
only, sir.
From there, a matter of fact, I did get very crazy.
Awesome.
Because I was just I can what else can I do that holds down that the center of rhythm and melody, but then also is able to
Bring another element to it.
add on top of it.
Yes.
Like I like to pick up on riffs that Nick does and trying to echo them or call and response. Same thing with rhythms that Lil does. It's like I really feel like I kind of exist in this sort of intersection of where these two people are at. So that's a lot of fun for me.
We also do a lot of open jams during our sets, and a lot of the times we'll kind of get spacey, and then Sam will lay down a sick bass
And then
line.
Lil and I will both start staring at Sam at some point.
Yeah.
We're like,
And then it's like, all right,
I'll,
buddy.
I'll be
Take
in my
us.
own world. I'll be looking up oh, hey, what's up, guys?
Hey.
You guys are still here?
Yeah, thanks for following me
Fancy
along.
seeing you.
It's so fun. It's so fun.
Yeah,
Yeah.
super fun. So that's me.
Yeah. Me, I'm Nick. I play the guitar. I'm that guy.
Sure are.
Yes, I am. I am also. I don't think I had anything to do with my naming.
Oh,
My name was chosen for having 8 letters. Fun fact.
nice.
Oh,
Yes, it's good luck in
Good luck,
Chinese
yeah.
culture. Yes. let's see. Was there something else I was going to say? My sign, I'm
anything
a
else you
Scorpio. Is there anything else I do? I do our sound when we do our own shows. I have been making our recordings lately.
Nice.
Cool.
That's true.
Super stoked about that. Yeah.
Super wizard.
Yeah. There's a whole wizardry we haven't discussed with Sam
That's
yet,
true.
but yeah.
We can go.
Oh, we'll get
Come back to
there.
that.
Yeah.
We'll get there.
So-
Circle back.
As we have to-
I do want to speak about this wizardry for just one moment.
How'd you say that?
Wizardry.
There you go.
Yes. First time on the show. Our people watching and listening can't see this. There is a very large guitar pedal, set of guitar pedals under this table right now.
It's a
There is.
spaceship.
And it is-
Yeah.
There
It is
is.
goddamn huge.
I'll
It
have
is.
to snap a picture of it and put it on Facebook
Yeah.
later.
And the
It's
bass pedals aren't even under there.
No.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
That
Yeah.
was just going to
Bigger.
be too much.
Yeah. My pedal this is part of the lead bass component. It's like my pedal is like I love it, but Sam's is like this is like boutique masterworks like splooge fest
I've-
like the pedal. So
I've totally done the thing where take a picture from above and label every pedal and all the connections and everything. It's
and every once in a while he's like, oh shit, I think one of the cables
I
is
think
bad.
the cable's busted. No. Which one of the 50 patch cables?
Yeah. Yeah, mine's the keep it simple, stupid version. It's like
And-
I plug
yeah.
into this computer spaceship, and then out comes
Magic.
what you'll hear. in a
That is
minute.
accurate from my point of view right now. That is very accurate. Yep.
And the magic that you will hear on Friday when you show up at Legacy.
Yes.
Hey,
Just saying. Just saying.
I
Your
like
turn.
plug.
that. I'm Liliana. Hello.
Hello.
I sing lead and play the drums, and my talent is probably in the word vomit.
Ultimate word vomit.
Ultimate word vomit. Vomit.
you're doing great.
No, it's starting.
There's word varmint on your sweater already. Mom spaghetti.
But yeah, I think for me, I get so much energy and joy and excitement out of playing, and for most of my life when I was playing the drums, I was backup singing, if not with PFL. I was the first band that ever was like, you should sing, actually, and then I started singing because of that band. And all the other bands, people were like, oh yeah, you should stick with backing because that's the most value that your energy can bring. But so often the lead singer would be a little quiet or shy, and they'd put me in the back because that's where you put the drums, and I'd be cracking jokes in the back and flailing around while playing the drums, and people would have to, singers would be like, you need to kind of draw back.
Come
I
on.
need
Fuck
you to
that.
cool
I
it,
steal
slow
Calm
your
your
roll.
tatas, lady. And it was like, cannot be. And then this was the first band that was like, no, you should be that.
No, Lil, your tatas are hot.
Yeah. That's the nicest thing I've
Says
ever
the gay man.
Bring them to the front of the stage.
Yeah, put your
Yes,
tatas
please.
all over that stage. And that's one of the things that I hear the most when people come up to me after the show. It's like, oh, it's singing, drumming, energy, woman, so powerful to see you at the front and
Yes.
be,
Yeah,
your
it is.
energy and excitement.
It's really cool.
It really
And
is.
it's just so many years of that being kind of put on the back burner, but being
Mm-hmm.
there,
Yeah.
and that there's so much gratitude in being with this band and playing this music that we write
Right.
together.
So when people don't realize that you're the drummer and then you tell them that you're the drummer, what's their reaction?
Oh my gosh, it's so funny. There's one show where I literally was setting my drums up,
I was just thinking about this.
and someone was
Yeah.
like, "So, where's your drummer?" And I was like,
Ah.
"Oh no, I'm the drummer."
Asshole.
And they were like, "Oh, wait, really?" And it's also so fun because in those moments, I know I'm a good drummer,
Mhm.
and so to see, especially with this guy where he was part of the other band and he was in the front row and we're playing and I'm just having the time of my life. I could care less what he thinks. At the end, he was floored,
Yeah.
and it's yeah, absolutely.
You are
dude.
an amazing drummer. You
Thank
really
you.
are.
You can
Thank
definitely
you.
tell that you love to do what you're doing. It's easy
Awesome.
to tell.
Really,
Thanks.
yeah,
Yeah, it's a lot of fun.
And that's
It
I think
is.
what really connects the three of us is
Totally.
we all there's an unbridled joy that comes mixed with kind of like trashy house party, sexy music vibes, which is it's like a very fun dichotomy to bring all together.
Right. So have you had like little kids, especially like little girls that you've played in front of that have come up and been like, I want to be like you?
Oh yeah,
Really?
100%. Yeah.
How does that
Sometimes
like,
it's their
do it.
parents. Sometimes it's their parents. They're like, I want my daughter to be just like you. Really, Jar?
Yes.
Yeah. And then Lil will be like, oh my God, play my set right now. And then
Many children have played
hit this. No, hit that.
There's been
Oh.
shows where I've brought like bless them and their patience where I've been like
I
drum
feel
solo,
seen.
come on children,
Yeah.
come on,
So
take a
seen,
drum.
like
And then
a-
people in the audience are like, what is she
And
doing?
then meanwhile, Sam and I are
bandmates are like
muttering
what
to
is she
ourselves.
doing?
we're like, this is musicianship. This is musicianship. I can play along with anybody. I can do it.
Yeah, it's gone well. It's gone very well.
but to think that like when you do that, that you're actually putting that spark in those kids to be like, they're going to go home and be like, Mom, can I get a drum set? I want a drum
Yeah.
set. And they're not going to shut up until they get that drum set. And then their parents are going to be like, why the fuck?
And then they're not going to shut
Yeah.
up when they get the drum
Yeah.
set.
I haven't shut up since.
Yeah. It's like, yeah, real talk.
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
So I do have another question myself. Your vocal harmonies are holy
Yeah, they
fuck.
are. Yeah, they are.
Holy fuck.
Well, that's a
Uh,
great
and-
To
description.
be on our promotional, I don't know what.
Yeah.
vocal
Yeah.
harmonies
Oh,
are.
yeah.
Holy fuck.
Yeah,
Holy fuck.
Yeah, holy fuck. I am a huge fan of vocal harmonies, just very generally speaking, in all genres of music, and you guys definitely bring it. I don't know. Was there a point, like, was this planned? Did you guys say, "Hey, let's try and all sing at the same time"? Like, how did that come together? What happened there,
Well, they open their mouth and
Jade?
I'm just sorry.
And
I had
and-
to. I
Oh,
couldn't
holy fuck,
resist
excuse
it.
me.
My bad.
You guys feel like singing songs at the same time?
Well, actually, in PFL, I was predominantly the lead singer, but you listen to our album, hands down, Nick is a far better singer. Like, it's remarkable.
Are you talking about the first CD?
Yeah, I'm talking about
Oh, the
Gingerbread,
first CD.
not Gingerbread. what's Gingerbread Sessions?
Goldfish Memory.
Goldfish Memory.
We had some really good names.
When we were writing songs about peanut butter and jelly
That
sandwiches.
CD was also an epic. It was like 16 tracks or something.
17.
It was
sure was.
remarkable.
wow.
Wow.
But actually singing has been.
You can tell whose memory Goldfish Memory was named for. This guy.
I think singing has been a different journey for each of us. Because I think for me, I never thought that I would do lead singing, and then it just kind of happened with the band. And then I actually learned at a certain point that I wasn't singing, that I was experiencing a lot of vocal pain that I wasn't aware of because I had normalized it. And I finally got a vocal coach who was saying the experience that you're having with vocal fatigue is not normal. And so I went to an ENT and I had an epidermoid cyst on my vocal cords. And so we tried for a year to just do, like careful recovery, unlearn and relearn how to sing.
Right.
And by the end of it, she was like, I think you should get surgery. And so I got vocal surgery
Damn.
during COVID, which like one of the
Wow.
silver linings of the pandemic. And then like I've been on a vocal recovery journey since then, and it's made a huge difference.
Wow.
So it's been like a psychological, because there were points when I was like, oh, maybe I'm not supposed to sing. And now I have to think about it in a way that like, okay, I have to warm up every day. I have to warm up before shows. I have to cool down at night, which a lot of singers who don't have constant vocal fatigue don't have to do. But these guys do it with me, and it's awesome. And I think it's really made a big difference for just like we think about our voice a lot. And like
Yes.
learning our voices as individuals and then as a group is interesting
Yeah.
because it's a different voice when you're singing.
And most
together.
people don't think about their voice in that way either. Like most people don't think about their voice in the way that like, because it's very similar to the way that you would think about any other muscle in your body. If you're trying to work it and exercise it, it's like, what do? You warm it up, you do the exercise, and then you cool down. And it's like, those are very important steps. And it's like, while you're doing the exercise, you want to make sure that you're, pushing yourself to your limit and maybe just a little bit beyond, so that, you're improving, but not to the point of pain, or damage. And so that was super interesting for me to learn about, was just like, yeah, like it's a muscle like any other muscle, like do these like very important steps, hydrate
Right.
a lot. We have a
Gosh.
vocal steamer. It kind of looks like a bong, but it's not. It's just
We know
it's
what
like
you're talking about.
it's
Yeah,
like-
very advanced
Totally not a
bong.
bong.
Yeah. I think it's like it like vaporizes water and you inhale it. It's like a sauna for your throat, basically. And
People think we're taking huge rips before
Yeah.
this.
My favorite part about that,
Remarkable.
my
10
favorite part of that
minute
is Liliana normalized for us at least. Doing that even while driving, like
Yeah,
if
like,
it's
oh,
like
yeah.
we're really in a rush, like, and so it's like we are driving up to sit. So you got the person in the driver's seat holding this big old thing that's like clearly got condensation all over it, and you're just like driving along, and people are like, "What the?"
definitely give a side
And you're
eye.
like, "Hey man, I'm cool."
Have you had to explain that to a cop?
Not yet.
Yeah.
Not yet. Thankfully, not yet. I've had to explain a couple things to cops lately, but not that. We are still generally on the right side of the law, I think. So that's cool.
Just don't forget. Never mind.
Yeah. I don't know what you're talking about, Sam.
Do you care to continue that?
This is not that far off
Sorry,
the
can you-
record, by the
can you-
way.
You can cut that, right?
Literally, we're pretty on the record.
We are live.
We don't know him.
Speaking of live, we do have some comments.
Oh
You
yeah,
wanna
comments.
Get
Yep.
to chats real
Sorry,
quick.
guys.
Yeah.
Look at that live chat.
Boom.
What's up, guys? Thanks for hanging out Friday. Pew pew.
Buck.
Pew pew. Tammy says, "Welcome to OTR."
Hey.
What's up, Tammy?
Legacy.
Says, "What's up, everyone?"
Yes.
Oh
That's
my
like-
gosh,
See
is
you
that
on
Andrew?
Friday.
Hey,
Hey,
Andrew,
we'll see
we
you
love
on
you.
We have Kay says, "Hey Buck."
Well, that's not us. So.
Babies don't need names.
Hey.
Wow, how forward thinking.
Oh, they don't answer to nothing.
Hey, nothing.
All right, there you go.
Wow.
I mean, babies can choose their names later when they're ready.
Yeah, why not?
That's
right?
Complicated. Unnamed child number 2.
So true.
Kay
Yeah.
says, "What's up, guys? Glad you get to see me again." LOL. That's
Yeah.
Pat, the videographer.
Yeah, we
Ah,
cheers. Oh, hell yeah.
So
Tammy
fun.
says, "Enter to win tickets for Friday night." So, by the way, if you can't
Oh,
see
yeah.
the banner across the bottom of the screen, it does say "Enter #LATR"
upstairs, we
in
like to
chat.
boost.
Hell yeah.
Yeah,
I
in
love it.
fact, if people cannot figure out tonight what to put in, I made this. Should be popping up there.
Boom.
Wow.
There you
Look
go.
at that.
This is so fancy.
And it'll go away, and
Hey,
then
Tammy.
this will pop up. Maybe eventually.
There we go.
Hey.
Oh, so cool.
Nice.
If you guys can't see that, I don't know what to tell you. You know,
LATR.
maybe a.
They're- They're watching the version that has only the edges of the video in frame.
Yeah, they got a cat video or a frat boy.
Or
his
then
parts
they
on
may be
fire or
listening to
some
this
shit.
later.
It's like
There's
it's like those
That's
eyes,
true.
like eagles have eyes where like they see like different things differently.
Oh,
like
like
the center
yeah.
of their eye is
Uh-huh.
super zoomed in, and so like
Uh-huh.
Whoa.
they can't actually see what we
That's
put.
like, now maybe it's weird for us to be going into bird eye fun facts,
I'm
but
so ready.
I have to drop this because I
Do
think
it.
it's so
Please.
interesting.
I love birds.
What else is a podcast for?
The owls, the reason that their head spins all the way around is because they can't look side to side, and the reason they can't look side to side is because their eyes aren't circular; they're cone
They're
shaped.
cone-shaped. Yep.
Oh.
I can't do
Wow.
this. So crazy. Yeah,
I
so
did not know that.
I feel like this
Now
is
you
a.
do.
in all the way. It's
I feel
so
like this
cool.
is a conversation I need to have really high.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You should hit our steamer.
There you
Yeah.
Get that good
Yeah.
shit.
I just found out today that snapping turtles, when they hibernate underwater, they breathe water through their butthole and convert it into oxygen.
Whoa.
But
Fascinating.
when will we evolve to that
Whoa.
point? Because
Yeah.
I am ready for
Yeah.
I've been working on it for months. Nothing.
No,
Nothing yet.
Shit.
But hey,
You've been doing the warm ups right.
As,
a whole lot of
as long as we don't develop taste buds on our butthole.
Ooh, yeah,
Well-
that's bad news.
Well-
Yeah.
Do I hit it?
Go for it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you guys said that you've known each other since middle school, but how long have you been together for the three of you?
3 of us as a band. It's been like 6 years.
5 to 6,
Something
yeah.
like that.
Wow.
Yeah.
Because we played
It's been
together in a
hot
band
minute.
in middle school. We played together in a band in high school.
We would always go to you'd have like these, parties / jam sessions at your parents'
Called
house.
PB and Jams.
PBs and jams. bring your own toppings.
Peanut butter and jelly. That is, we were actually making peanut butter.
We
and
actually
jellies.
were
I
on the
haven't
grill.
session.
It was phenomenal.
What kind of toppings do you put on?
Okay, I can
Okay.
answer this.
Got this.
I have my
Sell it.
favorite PB&J that ever happened, which was some people bring some crazy stuff, and then I also bring like random stuff that getting relevant. Back to the sandwich. So I had this amazing bread, and then I had like it was like kind of almondy peanut butter, but it was really fancy. And then rather than more of strawberry jam, it was like more of a chutney type.
Ooh.
And then
Yes.
I had some pickles and some cream cheese and a burger patty.
Please
and
talk
then
dirty
like,
to me.
yeah, I can say it better. And then I sprinkled some almonds and cashews right there on the top, and then a little bit more peanut butter and jelly. And then I grilled it all up, and it was like, holy shit!
Yeah. I mean, yeah, half of the fun was just kind of bringing sort of random obscure ingredients and slapping it together between two slices of bread, slapping it on the grill.
And then slapping each other.
And then slapping yourself, slap your neighbor, and then take your sandwich off the grill and try it out.
My oh my!
But yeah, so-
Anyways,
I'm getting ideas right now.
yeah, right.
Or what?
Bacon, actually.
Ooh.
Yeah. So
I
like
think I'll go with
in my experience, syrup and bacon accidentally go well
oh
with
yeah.
each other. So why not like some strawberry jam, peanut
Mhm.
butter, and bacon?
Oh,
I guarantee
yeah.
that is.
That's not an accident,
Stellar.
baby.
That's not an accident,
Yeah.
baby.
I'm so sorry.
No.
Baby.
All right. So the PB and jams would happen,
Yeah.
and then
Yeah, and so we would all be, kind of bouncing in and out of these like jam circles, trying out each other's instruments, percussion everywhere, 5 guitars, 2 basses, and it's cool to like get to know people that way, but it's also cool to get to know people musically that way because, some of us aren't as good at talking to people as others in this group.
I can't stop.
And so one of the ways that I like actually really connect with people is by jamming
Yes.
and having like a sort of musical connection. And so so even before we were in a band officially, we were totally like, hanging out at these jam sessions and we had the opportunity and like I would come to, PFL shows and Nick's like a huge City and Light nerd fan.
Sam's old band.
I love it
Yes.
so much.
So cute.
Oh my
So we
gosh.
totally we were like in each other's circles for a long time, and we really got a chance to like get to know each other, and kind of build that chemistry. And so it's kind of like, when we like decided to like do this, it like kind of a lot of that was already figured out.
Mhm.
Now that doesn't mean that everything was easy, of course, because it never is. There's always more to figure out about yourselves and the people around you. But like it was pretty cool. It's like people say, like, "Oh, you've only been together for like 5 or 6 years. Like it sounds like you've been playing together for 15 years."
Mhm.
And it's like, well,
Actually,
actually, kind of true. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
But I think one thing I really love about this band is that the band, and this is something that we all align with. It's the band is really the three of us, and I think sometimes the band members get lost in the band, and the band itself is a business, and we do all of our own booking, all of our own like sound and spoiler alert lights. We'll go back into that later. And so it's a lot of work, and I think we also all work really hard to keep like our hearts and our minds and our health at the forefront, and like what each of us need as individuals is what the band will do to fit those needs.
So what you're saying is that your band is not going to become Amy Lee's band, also called Evanescence?
I mean, I can only dream. It is immortal.
You
that
can't
band.
dream because you got to wake me up.
Oh, no.
That was good.
That was
I
good,
see what you did there.
Thanks.
Oh,
Oh, yeah. Now my brain is going through all the title, all of that.
like that scene in The Matrix.
So you guys travel a lot. So
Thank you, Jane. Please continue.
Yeah.
Yep, that's where I was going. Yes.
so you guys travel a lot. What all places have you gone? What's your favorite places you've gone?
A lot of places.
Good answer. Next question, please.
Now it's my turn for my eyes to go.
Start with the A's.
There you go.
Oh, geez.
We've been to almost every state, and I guess it's like why what about the place makes it our favorite place? Unless there's something that just comes to your minds.
I know. I'm gonna let y'all in on a bit of an inside joke. Sam loves Boston.
Loves Boston.
I love it. So I think
Sam-
Boston gets me.
We've never
Yeah.
played Boston. We've been there for maybe an
Sam's-
hour.
Sam's marrying Boston. Yeah, that was just because we got out of the van in Boston and we hadn't done anything. And Sam was
Literally,
like,
the first thing I said when I stepped on the curb was like, "Man, I love Boston.
I was like, how much do you love Boston,
I
Samuel?
really love Boston."
I'm a bit of a history guy, and I've never been to Boston myself.
Yeah.
So I'd fucking love to go to Boston.
Okay.
I
It's-
honestly
it's-
do love
it-
Boston.
Yeah.
If only to check out all the old fucking pubs
Yeah.
that are in Boston. Yeah.
crazy, yeah.
It's crazy to see like
Cool
this
city.
building that's been standing there for like 300 or 400 years, and then like next to it is this like 30 to 50 story to 70 whatever how many story skyscraper. And it's just like, whoa, like that is bonkers, because it's just like you have this incredible dichotomy of like old versus new, and it's like I like have a hard time to wrap my head around it.
It's like London, actually.
Yeah.
London is a
Yeah.
really interesting mix of super modern architecture with a mix of fucking old.
Yeah, that's super cool. And like the layout of like the city and the streets is all different because like cars haven't been invented yet. So it's like Manhattan is is very grid, or like a lot of West Coast cities have a lot of grids. A lot of East Coast cities have a lot of like kind of winding roads.
Yeah.
They follow like rivers and things like that.
And like
How
Europe
much he
is
loves
just a
it.
hodgepodge.
Loves it.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
but so, yeah, we haven't been international yet, but we have been back and forth across the U.S.
This is our fifth.
4 times, 5 times.
Something like that.
Yeah, a handful of times, and it's been really cool to come back around to places that we've been before now, and see old friends that we made, bands that we played with, setting up shows together, and like kind of like planting these like it's kind of like I like to think of it like we're driving around in our van and we're kind of like dropping these seeds like out as we go, and once in a while we come in and check up on them and see which ones have kind of sprouted a little bit, and then we kind of like focus in on them. Okay, let's water that, let's cultivate that, and let's
It's
make that
also
grow a
like,
little bit.
what were you saying?
Oh no, I was going to ask. You guys are from California, if I'm.
Mhm.
Yes,
What
Yeah.
part?
San Francisco
area.
area.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
So when was your last show?
Back
At
home.
home?
I mean, surely you guys didn't just come straight from San Francisco to here, right?
Right.
Well,
Actually,
kinda.
we're trying something
Not
different
exactly,
this
but
tour.
not far off.
Okay.
Yeah.
We played a little set in Houston.
Okay.
That was actually the first show, so we like gunned it out to Houston. Sam and I had a very interesting adventure on the way there. Series of adventures, I should say.
It was a road trip.
It was a trip.
I flew.
Yes,
Because
great
I
one.
had events that I had to lead because I also do trivia, which is funny because I'm not good at trivia. Anyway,
And then what was it? The next night we played in.
also I
Baton
host
Rouge.
trivia. It sounded like I had to
Rouge.
stay to play a game of trivia.
No.
I hosted an event.
Addicted to trivia.
Yeah, so I had to go to trivia.
I'm really
You
bad
won't
at it, and I
Drive
keep
across the
doing
country
it.
without me.
Yep.
Band can wait. I got to finish
Yeah.
this game.
Really.
My strange addiction.
Hey, it's your plane ticket, so whatever.
All right.
But after
Yeah.
Houston was Baton Rouge.
Houston and Baton Rouge, and those are actually
And
the
then Mardi
shows
Gras.
thus far. Yes, we just spent 3 days in New Orleans,
Yeah.
being like upside down.
Yeah. But I will say, I'd say some of my favorite places around the country are defined by the people that we
Mhm.
meet
Absolutely.
always. And like we're literally wearing shirts of the different band friends that we have all over the country.
Oh, that's
I was going to
awesome.
say yes, big love for Indianapolis and our
Yeah.
friends in Joshua Powell's band.
Big love
Yeah.
for Portland.
And then like Ohio, our friend Ben, and Michigan, I'm totally smitten by the Mitten. As Kev Secret, Nina, and it's like just all these people all over the country, and it's so cool to look at a map. And when you look at a map, and you see, and you haven't been to the places, it's a map. But it's like now, literally, when we look at a map of the United States, it's like, oh look, that's Ben, and over here is Brooks and Eve, and over here is
Weasel Boy.
yeah, it's
you
Weasel
know.
Boy, and it's like it's lit up. It's almost like somebody has taken a colored pencils and like artified the U.S. and we can throw a what is this called?
Dart.
A dart.
Good, you got it.
Trivia.
Trivia.
I like
How
that
to
you're
speak
talking
English.
about colors and forgetting words.
Yeah.
Are the drugs kicking in yet?
Yes. So you can throw a dart, and it's like, yeah, we know someone there. We've played there. We've driven through
Yeah.
there. It's just
Not to
so
mention the
familiar.
memories that you've made of
Totally.
those places.
Some
Yeah.
weird stuff has happened. Some beautiful stuff. Some painful stuff. It's really
Quite
Yeah.
literally.
Wow.
Yeah.
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 There's a story
our,
in DC.
Yeah, on our last tour, I fell down a fire escape in DC and
Oh my
sprained the
God.
shit out of my ankle.
It
Yeah,
was the worst phone call I ever received,
yeah. It was
and painful for him as well.
It was hilarious because before I made this phone call, I like try like limping down some of these stairs, and I'm like, well, because she's like 2 floors below me. But that place was so loud. It was this alleyway in DuPont Circle at like 2 or 3 in the morning, and there was a couple clubs that were still playing a lot of music, and so I'm trying to yell, but it's like she completely can't hear me. I can see her, and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna call her. Oh, I gotta call her again. Well,
I know, and
I think I broke my ankle.
I know, it's like,
Right? She's like, "Are you serious?"
yeah, it was remarkable.
Wow.
It certainly was. Yeah.
What's the weirdest thing?
One of the weirdest things that's happened on tour.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
Yeah,
Norman's was
so-
pretty weird.
There was a
Mardi
time in
Gras.
Denver. There was
Grand
a time
Rapids.
in Denver when we got at a Monday night. We got flashed twice at like a
Oh, yeah.
really late show. And
Oh
then
yeah.
someone at the end of the show was like
Oh,
backing
yeah.
up into me while I was trying to sing, and I was like, "What is she doing?"
Oh my
She
gosh.
was trying to give me a piggyback ride, and I was like, "But I'm sick."
That's
But I got
awesome.
on her back, and I was like, "Take me to the drums!" But she was really drunk, and I was
Oh my
like,
gosh.
"Where are we going?"
That was the same show where at the end of the show, somebody like gave me their phone number and invited me to text them if I wanted to join the sexual revolution,
yes.
Wow.
which I did actually text them.
How's the sexual revolution going?
They didn't respond.
Darn it!
Crushed.
Follow up when we go back through Denver.
Yeah. Oh
Is it still happening? Is the revolution still happening?
Hey, new phone. Who dis?
Yeah, that's kind of the weird stuff that comes to my mind. But I mean, there's also
I mean,
like,
I'm thinking of Michigan. The last time we were in Michigan, Grand Rapids, we played this like punk place. Is like super blacked out, paint wise. Then they were like, okay, yeah, if you guys are a 1-person band, we'll give you a pitcher of beer. If you're more than 1-person band, we'll give you 3 pitchers of beer. We're like, cool, all right, we get 3 pitchers of beer.
Pitcher per person.
Something in my head is like, okay, I'm gonna drink all the beer. So
a picture for each of us.
yeah, and so I actually went through about a pitcher of beer when some people were like handing us shots after the set because they were like, that was really cool. It was great because, well, it was a little bit of a surprise because I was like, do we fit? Because we were playing with all these like really like intense like
They
punk
were
bands and
so
stuff.
intense.
They were dope
They
though.
were moshing.
Um,
I was like, my tiny body.
And meanwhile, I'm like recently injured.
Oh yeah, your
and,
ankle.
and now I'm like wasted, and then we're like,
how much are you going to share?
how much of the story am I sharing? Yeah,
That's
so
like interesting.
I'm down. Yeah.
This-
So
it's
it's really it's a question of did they? Well, anyways, I'm.
Say anything that you want on the internet forever.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Hi, mom. Yeah. No. And then we wind up. There's some guy I've been messaging with on the internet. You know how that goes and whatnot. And well, that's true. Yeah. When Liliana tried that sort of thing, she just wound up using it to promote the band more.
It's true. It's like, yeah, do you want to go on a date at my show? There's
Yeah.
4 other
I'm
women
not actually
coming.
available at all.
Yeah. Anyway, please
yeah.
continue.
But yeah, literally, it winds up we're like loading out, and I'm like lying on the ground because I'm like just trashed
On the sidewalk.
on the
Outside.
sidewalk.
Yes.
On the sidewalk, yeah, and
But he becomes very gelatinous. It's like he's like standing,
Gelatinous.
gelatinous. Yeah,
Gelatinous.
he's standing,
Speaking
and
of
it's like
speaking.
it's not a normal like I'm gonna sit down. It's like
yeah.
this crazy like where does he go?
It's like the ground is the best place for me right now. And so Lil and Sam
Ground
are
is
like,
probably the safest place for you right now.
yeah. So Lil and Sam are like looking down at me like as they just like finished packing up, and they're like, "Hey,
We're going.
like we're leaving. You want to come with?" And I was like, no, he's 50 feet away. And they're like, okay, I guess. And so they like leave me lying on the sidewalk, which I'm also like, yeah, are you guys
terrible?
No, but I'm pretty sure I've dissuaded them pretty heavily. This guy shows up, and I think this is the first sign that it's going to be it is a very iffy hookup. But he's like, I've been completely clear about my situation. He picks me up off the sidewalks, like, let's go. I'm like, cool. Proceed to have the weirdest evening at his place, and sleep for 2 hours, have a lovely shower, because we go the next morning. And I think this is part of the reason why I decided that it would be a great idea to get like super wasted. Was the next morning we were playing at this like non-denominational like spiritual center, essentially a church, but they don't have a specific religion they're tied to, which turned out to actually be fascinating. I thought it was like going to be really dumb, but I actually was totally in love.
So you could atone for your heathenism.
Yeah. I could be like, universal truth. I messed up. Mostly, I really should have drank more water.
Yes.
But the best part was, we show up and I'm like brushing my teeth in the van, like spitting out on the curb, and like people are walking by in like their Sunday best, like staring at me, and I'm like, yeah, I am human garbage right now. Because I'm it's one of those. I'm not hungover. I'm still drunk. Like. Quite drunk, and
I hope that no one sees this who is from that non-denominational.
I hope they do.
I hope they do.
Yeah.
I mean, because
please hire us again.
Because we were like, okay, we're gonna play like really like deep song, like the sensitive songs, because this is like a place where like people like get deep, and so we're playing the song "Come Home" that is like my like deepest love, and we're playing it, and partly because I'm really feeling it, partly because I'm really feeling what's going on at the place. Partly because I'm drunk. I am so into it. I'm just like crying, like bawling, crying. And I'm like, but it still happened. I still played the darn song. And at the end, people like came up to a table, because this place is wonderful. They really want to promote artists. So they're like, set up a table, sell merch. 1 million people came over and like bought t-shirts and stuff. And I was like, oh my God, you guys are amazing. Or oh my universal truth. There are multiple words. They're amazing. I love them. C3, Grand Haven, Coast Guard City. That was an interesting place to be at that time, because I had just broken up with my coastie boyfriend.
Beautiful insight into Nick's.
I'm a
feel like
complicated.
I love it.
I'm an onion or an ogre.
At what point did nice? I was gonna say, at what point did you regain your skeletal structure?
Have you watched Shrek 2, by the way?
Yeah.
Speaking of inside jokes,
Donkey.
yes, yeah. Our friend on first night of the tour was like, "Let's watch Shrek 2." We were like, "What?"
Like, okay, sure.
My
Yeah.
skeletal structure came back at some point during this 2 hours of sweet sleep.
Nice. The 2 hours you got.
But that's one of the best. That's just not to totally derail from your story, but if you watch Nick when he gets really into solos, it's amazing.
He
He's
does.
like
He leaves
zero
his skeleton behind.
Yeah, zero gravity. Man, and
It's a spiritual awakening.
It truly is.
There's at least one show where I'm like, the best word I have for it is I think I blacked out, because it's like I don't actually
drunk.
remember like the last like
Yeah.
20-ish minutes. I think I did actually hit my head. I was jumping up and down, place at a low seat. I don't know.
I thought
There was a
I
symbol
literally
got
was
in my
like,
way for
he's
sure.
gonna jump over me on the drum set. He was jumping so high.
Oh my God, this was Seattle. This is the place
Yeah.
we used to play that closed.
Tim's, yeah, it
Tim's
was
Tavern.
wild.
Yeah,
Yeah.
this was great.
What was the question?
Right. Don't remember.
No, keep going. Keep going. Keep going.
Weird. Oh yeah. Do you have any weird?
I'm trying to think.
Weird.
I don't know. I mean, the weirdest thing that I can think of right now is just because it's fresh in my head, but just Mardi Gras, the whole experience. This was our first time having that, and it was such a cool, like, yeah, definitely, like I would describe it as weird, but it was like cool and interesting, and like, people are like dressed up in these super like beautiful, elaborate costumes. Some of them look like they probably took months to build.
Yeah.
And like there's like music happening everywhere. There's like people like driving around in their pickup truck with they got like microphones and speakers and guitars and like a drum line following behind them, and like 50 to 100 people following behind the drum line, and it's just like this whole thing, and like people are like peeking out their windows and their doors, and it's just like that to me was like probably one of the most like because we had been to New Orleans before. It was about a year ago. It was actually right around St. Patrick's Day.
Mhm.
So also big party time, but like not like that doesn't hold
Not
a
on
candle.
that level.
No,
Yeah.
no, sir, no. That was probably the coolest. Like, just like, gosh, I don't even know how I would describe it, but just like it's like, yeah, you want to do a thing, yeah, let's go do it.
Yeah,
like, don't even ask a question about it, just go do it.
I liked what Eric said. It's like one of the largest gatherings where people celebrate the absurd.
Yes,
And that's
like
super
so
absurd, and I
fun.
loved it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's cool.
yeah, 100%.
Yeah, and you can't like there was a drum marching band, and I was like, "Goal, get one of the drums."
Yeah.
And I did, and it
And
was
you did,
sick.
yeah.
And I was
Yeah.
running around with the snare drum, and it was so.
There
Mind
was
you, she
saw
also
that.
she also gave it back, by the way.
I did.
yes.
So
There were these people. Speaking of drums, that we banged on. There was this person who
There were some
had.
people we banged on.
People.
we this person had set up a shopping cart from whatever grocery store, and they had a whole bunch of different drums kind of in and around the shopping cart, and a bunch of kind of drumsticks laying around, and Lil and I kind of saw that and we're like, well, that's pretty cool, and went up and started he was playing, and I think his friend was also there, and they were playing on the drums, and we kind of came up and joined them, and it was just like one of those things where it's like, you want to do that? Like, sure. Let's go join and play their shopping cart drum set. Also, we were joking afterward because how easy would that be for setting up for a show? So it's like instead of setting up a whole drum kit, just wheel your shopping cart up onto the stage, and
Yeah, they'd
so
be like,
that was super cool.
hey, yeah, we got a loading dock, all this stuff for your drum set, and be like, cool, yeah, I'll get my cart. And they'll be like, great.
Yeah.
And come on in, and they're like, oh shit.
He actually meant the
Yeah.
cart.
Yeah.
you guys are obviously very well traveled. Whenever you go out and tour, I mean, are we talking weeks or how long are you usually out on the road?
Lately, it's
Yeah.
months.
It's
Yeah.
been on the order of so this tour that we're on right now is roughly 6 weeks
6 weeks of shows.
of shows. Yeah,
Yeah.
so that doesn't include the week that Nick and I spent to get to our first show, and probably the week that we'll spend getting back after our last show.
Yeah.
But
Longest
yeah,
has been 3 months.
yeah,
Yeah, that was
And-
actually our last trip.
Yeah. And now we're trying. Basically, we're home for a month, gone for a month and a half, home for a month and a
Yeah.
half, gone for 2 months.
we're
trying
experimenting with different structures of touring and not touring, and what makes sense for what's a good length of touring so that we can hit all the places that we want to hit, but also not get sick of each other and not hit each other.
I didn't want to ask that question, but I mean that's kind of where I was in the back of my head. You're out on the road for so long, and don't tell me you're showering every fucking day. It doesn't-
Together.
I'm a smelly man. I need to shower every day. I will at the very least, I've got the dry shampoo. I can spray it on my head.
Absolutely.
But it's no, we're finding that sweet spot of how long until and it's not even sick of each other even, but it's just I was I speaking for myself, I remember our last tour was 3 months long, and by month 2.5 I was just feeling I just want to be home.
Yep.
I'm done.
You
I
I'm
wanna
want to
be
sit
tired.
in the same chair 2 days in a row.
Yeah, I would love to spend a whole full 24 hours playing fucking video games
Yeah.
and doing not a single other thing.
Yep.
And there's because one of the things that, and this this is something that's going to be different because we all are different people with different personalities, but one thing, believe it or not, we're not just a commodity. No, one of the things that is a bit of a I find that I enjoy. I love traveling and adventuring and meeting people, but it is tiring sometimes to be on all the time.
Right.
I need time to turn off
Yes.
and just do literally nothing. So that's really important. And so we're trying to find what is a good length of time for touring. We can hit all of our spots and but also take care of our own needs, and then also in the time between tours, how do we structure that with playing enough home shows but not too many shows that we dilute ourselves, and maybe we can record some new material while we're at home, do some video shoots. That's something that we did recently with a
Travel
shoot
to
of-
Latin America.
just on your spare time.
Because I don't need off time. Actually,
Yes.
off time stresses me out and makes me more exhausted.
So the other end of the
Wow.
personality
That-
spectrum.
Yeah. So I need to be. I love perpetual stimulation, and so when we're not home, it's like how do I get home and also do other traveling that I want to do, but also when I leave,
How do I stimulate myself?
how do I stimulate myself?
Well, I mean, there are ways.
Oh, really? Sponsor me. Yeah.
Wait, that's not this show. Sorry.
Got it. Go. But it's interesting. It's interesting the different parts that are fed in the different ways, and I think something that fascinates me to no end is how much when we are in a location, it's like it feels like we've always been there. It feels like it is like, oh yeah, we live in New Orleans and Mardi Gras is our life. Oh, now we're in the van and now we're here. Okay, now we live in Florida and that's what it looks like. My brain just auto like I guess it's maybe I'm super enlightened and present, but it just like shifts. And so I was actually just in Latin America in the winter for 3 months because my mom's from Colombia, and so I was like enhancing my Spanish, and it was crazy to not have the band be a present part.
Oh damn!
I was
Really?
like, whoa, that's not part of my identity right now.
Wow.
Really. And we were kind of talking about, I don't know how much you would want to talk about it, but like how it kind of can throw you into existential crisis. to an extent.
Damn.
And
Were you like, oh, I wish she was here to see this and have that conversation with him, or talking about that kind of shit?
I'm talking like, it's just like, wait, what this part of me isn't like, it feels like a part of me is it's not that it's missing. It's almost like, I don't really know how to describe it. There's just something that's slightly off.
Yeah.
And then when I got on the road and like when we played our first show, it was like, oh, that's what a full breath of air feels
Wow.
like. And it's like
Yeah.
when you breathe in and you like really take a full body breath, it feels, you can feel it. And I feel like I was breathing into parts of my body that I hadn't in the past by being like with my parents in her like
Right.
exploring her home. And this band and this music and this traveling and these people are so much a part of my soul and my expression. And it's really, so like traveling again and being on the road and being like, oh, that's right.
That
That's right.
is some shit you
So is-
never fucking hear.
I call it traveling with a purpose.
Yeah.
Like last time I was in New Orleans, we had a show there, but me and the guitar player, he was from New Orleans, so we went a day early. So the first day was just us partying. And he's like, dude, don't get off this street. Don't wander too far off. I ended up in a town like 30 miles away from New Orleans with a dead cell phone, but I still made it to the show the next day because I was traveling with a purpose. I still had a mission in that town, but until it was time to load in, fucking all bets are off.
Right on.
So that might have been what was missing
Yeah.
was the
Sounds like a hell of a
purpose
story.
Yeah.
of the mission.
So true. And it's like a purpose that is, it is decision, it is rational human consciousness moving through space, but there's also something that is totally ethereal and uncontrollable. And it's like, someone once said it, only do music if you can't do anything else. And it's like, oh, I can't. And like, there's been so many different iterations of this band and like different people. And these are the three people who are like, oh, we all need this. And it's not the only thing that exists in our life, and it's not the only part of our identity, but it is a part that we can all feed in this way. And
Totally.
It's
Because we can all do plenty of other things besides music.
mhm.
We each have very, unique talents, but like, music is like the one, maybe not the one thing, but it is certainly a thing that like we all share and we all keep coming back to. Right. So it's like, that's kind of interesting. I don't think I had heard that before. The only do music if you can't do anything else. It's like, well, that seems kind of. I feel like that sounds very limiting. It's like, but music is awesome. Like I feel like everybody should be doing music,
Yes.
even if it's just like a hobby or a pastime.
Yeah,
Right.
that was in reference to like pursue it professionally.
Okay, for
Yeah.
sure. Yeah.
And it's also in this day and age, you can kind of clearly by what we're doing shape what professional music career pursuit looks like.
The
Absolutely.
way that a person could quote do music is like infinite. There are
It's kind of overwhelming.
Yeah, there are so many. Like, I mean, if you want to, it's just because like the access, the entry,
Barry from Entry.
Yes, is like it's so small. It's like you can, if you have a laptop and Fruity Loops or a laptop and GarageBand, it's like you can put together whatever you want to put together.
Skrillex.
Yeah,
You can put together Skrillex,
you can.
which is amazing and paralyzing.
Didn't he actually I feel like I heard something about where he had to either cancel a tour or delay some sort of release because I think one of his laptops got stolen that had the mixes on it.
Yikes.
And it was just it's like, whoa, that's horrible. Also, dude, back your shit up, my guy.
Get a flash drive.
Yeah.
Skrillex, I'm watching.
Swing by Guitar Center and grab another. That's what musicians do.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Excuse me, all. Do you have my mixes on?
Yeah, right.
Yeah, no, real though.
And we're with the freedom and the way that we do things, it's limitless, which is empowering and terrifying. And we have constant conversations about are we doing the right thing? And I feel like we always come back to, just keep following the next thing that feels right. And that little success and trust that things will happen. And it's should we get a booker? Should we have a manager? And it's when
Should we take this show
Should we
that
take this show?
conflicts with a festival or something?
And it's so much okay, trusting in the process and trusting in all of our opinions around I feel like we should. Or, we've started really valuing ourselves monetarily in a way that I think starting bands can't do. And so we say no to things that don't meet a certain amount. And what amount, if we play a show and no one shows up, feels good. Okay, that's the priority of this tour. That's what we're going to manifest. Next tour, we want people out there. We have venues who want us to come back. And so we're saying, what are you going to do?
Yep.
Because everybody's always bands got to bring stuff out. And it's what are you doing differently to work with us? Because we are 150% band and we will do what you need us to do to get your people out. And we can keep them there and keep them entertained. And it's fun and silly and improv songs, banderoki.
But it's not a one-way street.
But it's not a one-way street.
And
Right.
if we're playing to a room of 5 people, it's ultimately I can't change the fact that there's 5 people in front of me.
Yeah.
It's
So it's what's the next thing when we feel financially sustained that is the next important thing? Having actual people in the audience. Having actual people in the audience who are excited to be in the audience, whether or not they know who we are. So it's the next thing. Oh, we've done the US a lot. Now we're really excited about Europe. I feel like excitement. Things that make us excited is the next thing.
Yeah.
And when there's just these little moments, for example, on the last tour, we had these 2 days that we couldn't book in Michigan. And we were like, why? Why can't we get this? And then when we were traveling around Michigan, somebody reached out to me on Instagram and said, hey, I saw you. I saw this band that you used to tour with. I followed you. I followed your bike trip across the country.
Damn.
And I live
that
in...
also happened.
Oh, yeah, I biked across the country. We can talk about that later. I live in the UP, and I run this
The Upper Peninsula.
cruise.
Yep.
I run these cruises. It seems like you're all in Michigan. Do you want to come up? I'll give you a free cruise. You can stay with me. I'll take you around. And we were like, oh, that's why we couldn't book those 2 days. And so we just zoomed up to this guy. It took an extra 4 hours of driving.
Because Universal Truth wanted us to go see the
Yes.
Peninsula.
Yeah, so it's there's ways that you can really force and push, and then there's a certain point when you're there's something else that's there's keep following the energy as you feel drawn because there's something pulling you, and if I'm forcing, there's a slightly different way that you need to go.
Right.
And so
Yeah.
that's the whole where do you find that? And it really helps having 3 people who are aligned energetically with searching for that.
Right.
Boy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
The last couple of words reminded me of our time in Milwaukee, which
That's an interesting
really hits
story.
at interesting. Early on, so we played we drove into Milwaukee, played a show on a Sunday night, I believe. Monday morning, we were going to do a bunch of
This is our first cross country tour.
right.
Yes.
This is our first cross country trip, first playing out after COVID began, I suppose. And we got this sweet new van. We're like, this is going to be dope.
Super excited.
Play the show on Sunday. Monday we're like, okay, we're gonna take the van into a shop because the tire's having a problem. And turns out somebody hit us. Somebody hit the van. It was van's going and somebody makes a left turn when they're not supposed to. Head-on collision.
Yep.
Everybody's airbags all gone off. Thankfully, everybody was okay. Everybody was okay. Everything except the cars was fine. Van was totaled though. That was a Monday morning. Thank heavens we didn't have a show until Thursday, and that show wound up actually getting canceled due to weather. Wednesday.
was canceled.
Yeah, that got canceled. But like, that's the single moment in my mind where I'm like, when you said like 3 people like focused in a single direction, it was incredible, because we then were like, okay, what do we even do now? Because we're in Milwaukee, we're in the middle of a tour. Can we put on the shows in the future? Like, are we even trying to?
Our van didn't have collision insurance.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there was a screw up where we our insurance wasn't right at the time, so
And the person who hit us didn't have insurance.
they didn't even have a license.
And
Yeah.
they wouldn't
Oh.
contact us.
Yeah, and
It was
so
really painful.
yeah, we spent like so much time on the phone with like cops, insurance, lawyers. Actually,
Mhm.
we like we and then we're like, okay, well, we either rent a U-Haul, buy a new van, hop on a plane and just go home, like and then we're like, okay, we got to buy a van. We're going to buy a van because U-Haul turned out to be about as much as buying a van. So we're like, we're buying a van. Okay, now everybody's scouring Craigslist, Facebook Marketplace, like, freaking, I don't know, Auto Trader.
Yeah.
Um,
And
and,
one
like-
of the bands who had played with us on Sunday was like, okay, you can stay at my place. Like, I'll drive to the van and back and get all your
Get all
stuff
the
in my
stuff.
tiny
we had
car.
we had to ferry
and
stuff.
hosted us.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh,
It was
yeah.
crazy.
We like took up their whole living room.
Malachi,
for, like, a couple
thank you so
days.
much.
And one of the witnesses who had seen the accident owned a tow company, and he said, "I'm going to tow you to a mechanic that I trust. You don't have to pay for the tow."
Max,
And the mechanic turned out to
Wow.
be the most incredible,
straight up
helpful
angel.
human. He let us keep the van there for free for months, and like helped
He
us
ultimately
sell
sold it for us.
It's just like when
Wow.
the terrible garbage happens,
Mhm.
like the most incredible things rise to the surface.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And
Yeah, because we did all that stuff. I mean, we even like rented a car so we could go drive around the Milwaukee area to go find a van.
Yep.
We drove some interesting vans. Drove a 70s
Some
shag
fun ones.
wagon for a second, and we were like, I was yes. I was
the
yes.
driver's seat were literal sandbags.
Yeah.
There
Oh,
was
wow.
no driver's seat.
I
Yeah.
don't-
Oh, it was.
There was
I
a seat.
distinctly
There
remember.
was a seat. It wasn't adjustable, but it was a seat. Oh, you're talking about it was upholstered. It was upholstered with burlap. Yeah.
Oh, I thought it was a
Yeah.
sandbag because it felt like a sandbag.
I'm just incredibly impressed by your drive.
Hey.
Tenacity is the word I was looking for.
Yeah. Thanks.
You're in this accident, and your van is totaled.
Mhm.
And I mean, how many people have said, "All right, we're done"?
Yeah, no,
Mhm.
exactly. And even, I mean, I think an interesting experience that I had during that time, kind of talking about, everybody kind of like aligned in a direction. I remember we were at the collision shop, and I think Lil, you might have been on the phone with insurance. Nick, you were probably on the phone with
I think the police.
the
at
police,
time,
probably, yeah. And I remember being there, being like, kind of feeling like not down, but I was just like, I wanted to help, but like I didn't really know what to do.
Right.
Right.
I'm just like, well, these two folks are making amazingly complicated, difficult phone calls. I can at the very least use my 2 feet and walk down to this local sandwich shop and get food for everybody.
Which makes a huge
Which was
difference.
amazing.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, but the sandwiches
Oh,
it was
yes.
like,
And it's,
Oh, yeah. Oh, that's like-
yeah. It's like what you said, Lil, about like pushing in a direction and you're not getting anywhere.
Exactly.
Kind of like maybe shift the angle that you're pushing and be like, oh, I could do something else that is gonna be helpful in a different way.
Yeah.
And yeah, that was a neat experience for me, and I definitely appreciate everything that y'all did, and it was just nice to have that sort of like symbiotic thing where like we were all like, okay, we're up shit creek, we gotta get this done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we did get a van that had 2,550.
250.
That's
Yeah.
the number.
$250,000 miles on
Yeah.
that van. That thing
We
was,
made it the rest of the way across the country and didn't
didn't
miss
skip
a
a
show.
show.
Wow.
Granted, that
we
van
made
was
that
stolen,
Thursday.
so
And that van
That
was
van
and
got
that
stolen.
also wasn't insured.
Yeah,
so.
that van got stolen after about a week of me searching through junkyards trying to get parts for it because it wouldn't pass smog in California. It was a nightmare that never ended because we couldn't get it registered. The insurance wasn't valid. We never got paid out for that van either.
So it was
Wow.
like
Wow.
all of these situations
Brutal.
of like, really? Really?
Wow.
You know that thief jumped in that van and fired it up and looked at the odometer like, fuck, well, it's
Yeah.
running, I'm out.
Yeah.
right. And that was just our first tour.
Yeah.
No, but thankfully we haven't had any van trouble since.
Thanks, Marcelo.
Yes.
That's awesome.
Mhm.
So we do have a video that we can play.
Yeah, we got a couple of them.
Yeah,
I'll let you guys pick.
Do you want us to play the? Do you want to play the video, or do you want us to?
we're saving that.
We'll
We're
do
saving
it.
it.
We'll
do
do
you
the
want us
video.
to
Yeah, and
choose
then
a video for you?
Choose a
That's
video.
fun.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay.
Oh wow, so many possibilities. I actually can't read them because they're so small.
Loaded Gun,
I feel like Loaded Gun.
Loaded Gun.
That was
which
what.
is the one I used for the intro. for
And
those
everybody
of you
can
that
look
are
at the
listening.
cute little the beardlessness.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Nude faces.
Yeah, you can look at
Yeah.
Sam and I and then realize how different we look
For
today.
sure.
Yeah.
And fun fact, there is a Darth Vader mask in this video.
There is.
All
I'm
right.
kind of a little bit of a Star Wars nerd.
Oh,
Nice.
perfect. Then this is the
Oh,
perfect.
Yeah, this
Yeah.
was a fun one to shoot. What was this for? This video that we?
This was another
This
example
was-
of,
this was all Tiny
of
Desk.
funny things going weird because it was a concert that a friend put on that
Oh, yeah, it was a house
no
show.
one showed up except for
Yeah.
like 3 people, and then we were like, we need to film a Tiny Desk submission video.
Yeah, we were like, there's
Y'all
gonna be a
wanna, like,
crowd. This is gonna be
do
dope.
this?
I saw that. I saw
Yeah.
you guys were on Tiny Desk.
Yeah.
I saw that.
Yeah.
Yes.
And so
Yeah.
this was like a bunch of like friends, another band, and like the 2 audience members who came out were like, yeah, sure, we'll film it with our phones and make this into a music video. And then it turned into this. And it was
That's
so
awesome.
fun.
Yeah,
And there's a short bass solo in it.
sure is.
Hey,
Let's
yeah.
go.
One measure.
Cause I can't wait, no, on a loaded gun. Can't go slow when I'm ready to run. No, I don't mean well, but I mean no harm. So guess it's better if you sound the alarm. By the way, I can't sit still, I can't think straight. I know better than to complicate. It's my fault, it's too late. I know I'm better than this. Can't help the feeling that there's something I miss. But I guess the casualties were well with the risk. Cause I don't know what I'm doing and I
Don't know if I ever will.
rein it in. Keep that buzzing tight beneath your skin because you scattered too much, too much, too much. And will you ever know when and where it begins? But it's too late, I know.
Nobody is listening, you're taking up space. You should
Go
go
ahead, cut me off, I really would stop instead.
Get set in your brain. It's too late.
It's too late. No, I know I'm better than this. Can't help the feeling that there's something I miss. But I guess the casualties are well with the risk. Cause I don't know what I'm doing and I
Don't know if I ever will.
know better than this. I know. I 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 know better than this. I know. That intensity, but yes. Just like
It might be for really good stationary shots, actually.
vomiting through stationary. Okay. Does that guy go?
We're just gonna come in.
I mean, might as well.
Okay, it's probably gonna
What?
die.
Yeah, let's do that.
Dance, I think.
Yeah.
Okay, we're doing okay.
And like, especially for the Will.
I love that
Yeah, that
place. That's like
beautiful
one of my
wood room.
favorite places.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
it was
love
so.
that place.
I
so
might
fun.
have seen you there.
Actually, there was someone who was
Oh
walking
my
by and the
gosh.
window was open, and I was singing, and I brought her in through the window, and we were dancing.
Nice.
Yeah, 'cause they have a really giant window.
We
yeah.
like to kidnap our fans
They like it.
into our shows.
I've noticed
I
that.
say the van ain't that big.
Yeah.
It's definitely creepy now.
Just put
Unfortunately,
puppy
it looks.
kisses on.
I got the same one with blacked out windows though. It's weird.
Yeah.
Just free college down the side.
So,
Oh my God! Too close to home.
I just had to bring this up. I saw you guys were on Tiny Desk, and I geeked out a little bit. I love Tiny Desk, really. So I don't know this, but I believe have only been one other group or band that had a drummer vocalist on Tiny Desk, and that would have been Pac Anderson.
I was gonna say,
Yeah.
yes.
Ooh,
Yeah, I saw him perform at Outside Lands, and I was
Dude.
like,
Yeah.
Totally obsessed.
Yes.
Totally obsessed.
fuck yeah.
Yeah.
Just got just promoting it. Just me and Pac. Pac, you
you're out
wanna
there.
you wanna hang out?
Hey, buddy.
We have a few. Do we have a few chats we can catch up on real quick?
Yeah, hi Kiara. Oh,
There we are.
yes, our friend from the Bay. We just filmed a music video with them. Our first one.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
awesome.
Yes, so
That's
excited.
right.
Kiara's this wicked modern dancer, and
Yes.
we do.
Oh yeah.
We did all this we were filming them doing a bunch of dancing, various things, and Sam was lighting. We keep
yeah.
alluding to
Keep
it, not
alluding
actually
to it, yeah.
talking about it, but Sam went absolutely ape nuts on the lights, and this was kind of my I'll go buy a sandwich moment. Was we're like filming this thing and I'm not useful, but we were doing it in this big warehouse kind of space, and Sam's got the big hazer, which is like a fog machine but better, and it's like, and he's like, what if it was moving? And I'm like, well, I have arms. So then turns out the thing's like 20 pounds. So it actually was kind of exhausting, but it was so worth it.
Nick's ripped.
Nick has, I mean, your arms are the biggest contribution to the band, size wise.
But
Distracted?
yes. But anyways, it was a great moment. It was a great moment running
Yeah,
around with
that
the
was-
haze machine, and I'd be
Yeah.
like, more fan,
Yeah.
more haze, less haze.
Hey,
Stand by.
What was your? Oh, and you were Slater.
Slater, yeah. I learned that that's what they call the thing at the beginning of the video is the slate, and I was the Slater because I was very good at updating the little
Yeah.
take numbers.
I took over Slater for a bit. It was horrible.
It was a
Do
disaster.
they still use those?
Yeah.
We stopped at a
Yeah.
certain point because we were like,
It was
you have to be Hazer now.
yeah, the Slater Hazer transition was shockingly smooth.
Nice.
Yes, they do use them, but mostly I think for if you're doing like synchronized shots with a lot of cameras, like that click sound is still useful.
Oh,
So
Yeah.
you can line up your audio with your video.
Makes it easy. Yeah.
Yeah.
We were almost more just doing it because I wanted something to do and it was cute.
Yeah. You kid at Guitar Hero guitar when you're playing Super Smash Brothers. You're playing.
Yeah.
But that video will be coming out sometime this year,
Yes.
hopefully.
Yeah.
Definitely.
To go through 200 hours of footage.
Right. We need to watch those.
Yeah.
Yes.
She said 200, but it's actually 2.5 hours.
Oh, thank
Same thing.
God.
Yeah.
Thank Universal Truth.
Yes.
Hey, video stuff is hard. I've realized that it takes about an hour of editing to get 1 minute.
Sure
Oh,
does.
yes.
Sure does.
Just for
Yeah.
me, just for the little tiny like intros and bullshit that I do.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Somebody's like, "Hey man, I got a song. Can you make a video? It's 4 hours long." I'm like, "Ah, jeez,
That's a
Yeah.
long
Sure.
shot.
Yeah.
sure."
Yeah. hell.
Yeah, our friend
It's 4 hours out of the
Brian
day. Yeah,
did
before
all
you
of the
do that.
shooting, and is going to help us. Like, we're going to like kind of watch the footage, pick out like this is cool, this is cool, this is cool, this sucked. What were you thinking? This is cool, this is cool.
Yeah.
and he's going to help us.
It's gonna be so hard though, because every time we shot something a little, we would shoot it in the daylight. I was like, oh, so beautiful, and then
And then
maybe
at
this is a
dusk, it'd
good
be like, oh, so
God,
beautiful.
so beautiful.
And then at night, like, oh, so beautiful.
But this is like maybe a cute segue into the fact that Sam is like a lights fiend, loves lights. And at the beginning of when, I feel like, I don't know what your experience it was, but when Sam showed up at practice with lights, these like stick lights and like a pedal board to run lights during our show, I was like, this is a lot.
And to be clear, what Lil's getting at there is Sam is literally running a programmed light show during our shows. Like,
Wow.
like he's got his effects over here, which is his Gigundo board bigger than mine, and then he's got his
Because
light
one
board.
big board was not enough.
Yeah, he was
Not for
like,
this man.
I need to be walled in here.
Yeah.
And so then, he's penned in by a light board on the other side, and he's like, yep, it's green now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it started out with it first started out with a few, like, 2 very cheaply built like par washes, definitely built and assembled in China and then shipped over here to the US for pennies on the dollar. But that was like, I remember that was like the first. I bought them because I was like, oh man, like, wouldn't it be cool? Like, because I go to concerts and I love like good light shows.
Yes.
And I was just like, man, wouldn't it be cool like if we had like something about that? And so I got these like two cheap little lights, and just kind of I would set them out of color and kind of like point them at our backdrop, point them at us, and just kind of leave them there. And then I was like, yeah, okay, that's cool, but like, what if I could control them? What if I could like
Yes.
actually like make a show? And so I just
Absolutely.
honestly kind of the same way. I went down this like nerd, pedal building rabbit hole with my effects board. I went down a nerd pedal building rabbit hole with like, okay, like, what can I do? What are my options for like getting some sort of like lighting DMX control at my feet? And like there were some options out there. A lot of them, honestly, like a lot of them are like, they're good, but they're pretty basic because people are normal, not like me.
Sam is not basic.
I am not. I will not settle for normal. It is extravagant or nothing else. So it was this whole like,
It's like that book, Bud Not Buddy. You're base, not basic.
yeah, hell yeah.
Nice.
One of our local bands here in Tallahassee, Tragic, recently started using their own little light show.
Yeah.
And I'm going to be honest with you, the first time they did it, I didn't know how I felt about it.
Mhm.
And then the second time I was like, oh, yes.
Yeah.
Oh,
I've said it before. Lights will make or break a show.
yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
so
If
true.
it's just a stagnant one fucking purple light, it's just like, oh,
It's just
come on.
whatever.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
It's
if you
like, y'all
got
look kinda
if you got
healthy.
actual movement on stage, not just movement in the music, but on stage
Yeah.
as well with lighting.
And it's so cool what you can do with just simple, like, because I mean, you go to like a big like arena show and they got all these beams and lasers and they're moving on, they're doing cross patterns and like flares and whatever.
Projection mapping.
Projection mapping,
Yeah.
and that's like, that's ridiculous amount of stuff, and it's great. It's super fun. I love that shit. But at the same time, it's like, there's so much
Just
that you
like
can
Boston.
do. Oh my god, Boston's like just barely ahead of like a big arena show. But like even like there's so much that you can do with like you're playing this like heavy rock anthem, and it's like you got some yellow in the front and like kind of red highlights from the side, and then like you like bring it down to this like kind of like washy kind of spacey section, and you like and all of a sudden like the lights kind of fade from this red yellow to this kind of blue side.
Yes.
Mhm.
And it's like that's all it did. It was just a color change, and it was just a fade, and that's so simple.
Yeah.
But like that little thing, like people geek over that.
Yeah.
I geek over that. By people, I
Sam.
mean me.
Yeah. This is one of those. Yeah, I'm trying to make it seem a little more. No, but totally. It reminds me of the John Mayer Live in LA DVD when they start playing Vultures. It's this like ridiculously vibey, like kind of like sound.
Mhm.
And the lights are like pulsing in and out of darkness, like
yes.
purple slow movers.
Mhm.
And it's just like the overall vibe is like, holy shit, we just took some like really good drugs. They're just like-
Well, the best part was like when we went on tour with the lights, people were like, "You are so much better."
Yeah.
Oh, we just have lights. We have some pretty lights now.
Actually, I played real bad.
yeah,
Yeah.
but look how
Cool.
shiny we are.
Yeah.
And there's
Now-
this one show that I like think of distinctly in Detroit.
Mhm.
We
Yeah.
played with a series of bands, and it was like these bands were like a bunch of friends fucking around, and so they would mess up, and then they'd start over, and it was like, oh, forgot the lyrics, blah. And then we came on, full lights, full like outfits all matching,
Yeah.
and after maybe it was our first song, we like,
Well, what I'm thinking of happened at the very end of the set.
oh, I
but
think it was the very end of the set,
Yeah.
where we like finished the last song, all the lights go dark,
Sam
Fade
does
to
a
black.
hard cut to black.
Yeah.
and there's this one
In the blackness.
Yeah, in
Yeah.
the darkness, there's just one voice that's like, "Holy shit!" and we were like, "Yes!"
Oh,
It was
man.
so satisfying.
I could have died in that
It
moment.
was so fun. It was so good.
Now, Liliana, Nick, you guys keeping an eye on him to make sure he don't show up with like some pyro flash cans and be like, dude, we got fireballs now.
You'd be like,
Fucking-
"Yeah!"
we're fucking
Set me
amping
on
it up.
fire.
And I'll be like, "Yep, Sam, that's great. Remember, you're the one who packs the van."
Yeah, I really am the one that packs the bag.
It's like, yikes. Yeah, I mean, yeah, that would be fucking great. I mean,
Man.
that's the kind of thing where it's like the home show. It very well might happen.
Yeah.
It very well might happen. We'll
Right.
have to find a place that's like, yeah, you guys can light a little fire as long as
Yeah.
a little fire.
An
you know?
outside show, I definitely suggest.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely, hit up the local fire department and be like, yo, just
Heads
letting you
up.
know.
So
one of the coolest moments in my own musical career, I was in a metal band playing a show. We're coming to this this breakdown, this really heavy, sick breakdown, and without any type of notification, hey, the owner or whoever's running lights hit a fucking strobe light
Yes.
during the breakdown.
Yes.
And I remember while it's happening, thinking just how fucking cool it was.
Yes.
And that actually got videotaped. I found out later on, and going back and watching it, it's like, God damn, that was cool.
So cool.
Hell
yeah,
yeah.
So
And
cool.
it is completely, I didn't. There was no, no indication, no heads up, nothing. So, yeah, just the lights really add to the show.
Yeah, that's super cool.
So fun.
And Sam's a wizard.
It's Sam's Wizard.
Yeah.
So-
Who knew?
actually,
And Bob's your uncle.
one of the things like you guys might have noticed in that video is how tall Sam actually is. So while the video was playing, he made the comment about it, and I was like, "Oh my god, yeah, no, actually, like, how tall are you?" And he said he was 6'4". And I'm like, hang on a second, I got to see this. So I'm in wedge shoes, so I stood next to him, and I felt really short. And I'm like, I got to test this out. So I took my shoe
you
off.
almost come to his shoulders.
I don't think
Not-
no.
almost.
I like come to like to his belly button. It seems like
How
it's
sweet.
so
You could sit on his shoulder.
Especially because, we were saying 'cause in that video as well, not only am I just
Oh,
super
yeah.
tall, but also the roof is angled down.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're
Yeah.
like at the corner of the house.
Yeah. So it's like my head is on the ceiling. It's
Yeah.
like- and it's like if I like stood on my tiptoes, I'd be like on the ceiling hitting it. So
Yeah. It's like
I
if you
was-
lose your balance, just like get up on your toes.
Yeah.
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 Like,
Catch myself with
saved
my
it.
crown.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I was 5'2", so I was like, okay, hang on, he's 6'4". I got to see this, and I was like, whoa, hi. So, by the way, in case you guys don't know, hashtag LATR in the chat, you'll be able to win some tickets.
LATR.
LATR.
We do have one entry.
All
Well,
right.
hey.
You know what, though? Rob actually finally made a good point. We should do another contest because we actually have 2 sets of tickets
Mhm.
Awesome.
to give away. So we'll do some on our Facebook page. And
Let's do it.
I'm going to buy some of your merch and throw that in on the contest.
Most
Yes.
righteous.
Yeah, so we'll have a big ass contest
And
on.
yeah, y'all got the skulls and bones thing going on too.
Right?
Like, we have bone jewelry.
Yeah,
so it really
don't
goes with all
throw
of
them
it.
out,
I'm
please.
gonna buy
Please
some of
don't.
Yeah,
Hey, yo.
we've done been hanging on to these ones.
So, do you guys want to hear him, like, for real, like,
Yeah, I
play?
do.
And
I do.
I
Yeah.
kind of do, too. I'm not going to lie. Okay.
I think that'd be great.
I
Oh.
do.
I yeah.
She's like, can we please?
Look at
Oh
these.
my God.
Who put these
What's
there?
that?
Hey.
Oh.
Hey, baby.
Where'd it come from?
Let
Here,
me get that for you, honey. Oh my gosh. Have I been sitting on this the whole time?
Oh my gosh. What was it? The boomy boom? The bang box?
The butt box.
Butt box.
The bang butt box.
The bangy butt box.
The boomy boom.
She would.
Bangy butt box, baby.
She refused to sit on anything other than that damn box. By the way,
Uh-uh-uh.
I left it over in the
I
corner.
believe
I'm
it.
like, no, here's a chair. It's comfy.
Yeah.
It's
And
got
I
padding.
punched
She's
the
like,
chair out.
It's like, no.
I can't sit on my IKEA stool.
That's true. I have
That's
a
her
very
drum
weird throne. Yeah. When other drummers are like, "Can I sit on your throne?" It's like, careful. It's super bouncy. So when I'm playing, I'm like, it's really bringing the tatas to the front of the stage. You know, just like you told me years ago.
Oh. And fun fact, Liliana loves
Punch your
Liquid
mic.
Death. So
Oh yeah.
There you go.
wink, wink.
Wink, wink. Always jokingly trying to get sponsored, unless you're seriously interested.
Especially if you're Liquid Death.
Yeah.
Hit them up. All their links are in our show description. If anybody's looking for these people, they're not hard to find. We put them out there.
This song is
Shall
on the new EP that we're actually touring, which is exciting because it took us like 5 years to come out with a new EP, and this is the title track on it and the first song on the title track. Whoa!
Wait,
On the EP, as it were.
I'm
Speaking of
confused.
speaking.
What's happening?
are you vomiting?
This song is called "They Beckoned Me Here." I can't keep count. I can't amount to this sorrow. Floundering about, spitting up doubt just to stay afloat. I'll take the mistake that's lying in wait if it means more time. But I've buried the trust by kicking up dust just to ease my mind. What do I care? What do I know? If I'm going nowhere, how could I go? What is one to do when all of it is through? When my body's sort of new. They named me a mark, but deep underwater they called me out. At the start of the sleuth for the god-awful truth, I cracked like the lands of the drowned. I'm tired and numb, and the lyrics won't come when I call for them. But then he beckons me here to this helm that I steer at the point of pain. Oh God, what have I done? Just to get grace, I better run. They're picking up pace. What is one to do when all of this is through? Will my body start anew?
wrote it all down as they crash at the door. Harrowing sound. The waves that beat on the shore. All of it is slow. It's will they bury me very true? Was I not sent for you to carry me through? What more could I do?
He's still my beating heart.
I'm in love.
Thanks.
That's
Thanks.
what's up.
I didn't know we had an audience listening.
Sorry,
Sorry, that was not a dig on the podcast, by the way. By the way,
Forgot we were here. Hell yeah.
I didn't. What I meant to say is I didn't realize I was playing for an arena.
Oh man.
That was awesome. So
Thanks so much.
again, for those watching, hashtag LATR, and you can see that live at the Legacy on Friday.
I'll have a
Hint,
drum
hint.
set.
Right? Right?
Yeah, that's LATR as in Legacy at the Riverfront.
Yes.
Hell yeah.
So,
I got fucking chill bumps, man.
yeah, that was amazing.
God
That was
damn.
awesome.
Thanks, bro.
That
Weird,
was
'cause I feel like we just turned up the heat.
This freaking guy.
Oh,
I'll see myself out.
oh, man, that was like fucking sex just now.
Oh, yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Casey says this is live. It is live.
Yeah, that's live.
That was us.
How'd it sound? What'd you think?
Oh, natural.
Yeah,
Mhm.
We're not wearing pants.
just
Speak for
blanket.
yourself. The ceiling camera reveals all.
You catch all the nut scratches.
Question
Right
about to
here.
say to wear them now.
Yeah, now we're the weird ones.
Tammy says, "Oh my god, that was awesome and sexy."
Hell
that's
our goal.
Thanks, Tammy.
Mason says, "I can't play drums, let alone, or I can't play drums, let alone play drums and sing."
Sure you can.
That's
a
why
ton
she's
of
in the
talent.
band.
That's awesome. So we are really looking forward to seeing you guys on Friday. So
We're stoked to play.
hashtag
Mhm.
LATR. You have just a little bit left.
Yeah, not
So
much
come
longer,
on.
folks, before
Come on.
this one closes.
Come on.
Yeah. This is awesome. This is like such a key example of when like coming back is fun. Because we met
Yes.
Yeah.
these guys at I don't know who I should be looking at. We met these guys at what I should be looking at.
That one.
That one we met these guys at a show and they gave us your business card and we were like, yeah, we should hit them up when we go back through. We couldn't find the business card and then I remembered that I take pictures of business cards. Got on the phone
Hey.
and reached out and
Nice.
now here we are.
Yeah, I got
Convenient.
your email, and I was like, "Wait, fucking like 2 days earlier? Are you serious?" I was like, oh, so you guys want to come in remote? And you're like, no, we'll be there in studio. I was like, are we fucking what?
Yes.
Hell
No.
yeah.
The best. That's the best. I love it.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. In fact, fun fact for those of you that were watching, and I'll probably use it as an outro as well. It's Throwing Out Bones, myself and Andrew of Legacy at the Riverfront in that picture.
Mhm.
Oh,
Oh,
what?
fantastic.
Yeah,
Oh, sick.
yeah, it was us two and you three.
Yeah.
Love it.
Dope.
Yeah, you're wearing boots and
I was
shorts.
wearing boots and shorts. That's kind of my only thing. Except I don't play drums with shoes on. The other day I was running around the venue and I definitely had glass in my toe.
Yeah.
And
Oh no!
I was barefoot.
Yep.
Classic.
Yep.
Really
That's
on a-
Yeah,
Yep.
and it was like, it's fine, it's fine, it's fine.
Yeah, she shows up tonight and she's got all these little paint dots and be like, "Oh, we just came from New Orleans."
Yeah.
And I was like, "Yeah, I know. I
Yes.
saw you playing the
Can't
drums. The
seem to
paint
get them
dots.
off.
The paint dots make sense."
I'm still on this fucking high on that performance,
You okay
guys.
over there, buddy?
Yeah, no, I'm good. No, it was so fucking
You want-
good.
You hitting those
Thanks.
high notes
Want a
was
weak water?
crazy.
No.
That is
Thank
you.
amazing. Like
Thanks.
you seem like you could like really fucking belt it if you wanted
Oh,
to.
there was one show where he sang. I wasn't sure where your head started and your hair ended.
You can look, but you can't touch.
Yeah, excuse me, that'll be extra.
This one show where jokingly he had sung Chandelier,
Mhm.
the Sia
Oh,
song,
the Sia song.
and at the show we were like, no, this has to happen because he can hit those like crazy high notes that she hits.
That's
And
right.
when-
Yeah, 'cause it just came on while we were in the car.
Yeah, and you sang it, and I was like, that's got to happen. And then during the show, when it started, everybody was looking at me, and I was like, nope.
Just like,
Draw your attention
excuse
to
me,
the
y'all.
angel.
One of the people on the stage is wearing a wig.
And
It's funny.
my favorite, our Halloween show was because obviously we're a very Halloweeny band,
Yeah.
and
Can be.
the concept that I pitched to them, which they were down with, was be the costume change you want to see in the world. And so throughout the course of the show, we changed costumes. And
that's
at
cool.
one point, he put on a Sia wig that I bought. I spent $20 on. 'Cause I was like, this is going to be
Well, it was like,
literally
I'm
20
committed to this
seconds.
bit.
Yeah.
And he put the bow on and everything. It was so good. Yes.
Yeah. I mean, at this point, you really don't need the
You
wig
should-
anymore.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I just need to bleach half my hair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You should also just like sing the chorus, no?
God, Kelly. I mean,
No.
Are we
no,
for real?
no,
I
no.
mean-
I'm like,
Go for it.
yeah.
all right.
Yeah.
All right.
What's
Can I
the-
get some
what key is it?
backing? I think
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
F.
We'll harmonize with you.
Was I think the first chord.
All right.
All right. Well, we'll just go straight into
Yeah.
it. I wanna swing from the chandelier, from the chandelier. I wanna find like tomorrow doesn't exist, like it doesn't exist. I wanna find you like birth in the night. Watch my seasons that try. Wanna live like tomorrow doesn't exist, like it doesn't exist.
Wow.
And Nick, it's almost not a falsetto for you.
It's true.
Yeah, it's
You
like
just got the power.
it's like it sounds like that is your natural range.
Yeah, his testicles just right back up into his
Man, I guess I invited conversation about my testicles ultimately.
Oh my god! Don't say that shit while I'm drinking.
Oh.
I'm gonna spit
Yikers.
all over this camera.
My testicles almost rang out just thinking about it. Yikes.
You guys were awesome. So again, Friday night, Legacy, and check these guys out and see everything because holy shit, those notes! God, I can't get over that. That's insane to me. That's crazy. I wish I could do that. I cannot. You guys are awesome. So
Thank
check them out.
you.
And you're gonna play the intro for the outro.
Yeah, I can do the
The
intro for the
intro
outro.
for the outro.
Whoa,
Whoa.
so meta. Thanks so much for having
Intro,
us
outro.
too.
Of
Yeah.
course. Thank
Yeah.
you guys for coming. And where can everybody check you guys out?
Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Spotify, Apple
Thrown
Music.
Out Bones.
Thrown Out Bones.
San Francisco.
Search it, you'll find it.
Thronoutbones.com.
please look at our Instagram. We spent a lot of time posting stuff.
We sure do.
I will.
Will spends most of the
I
time.
like 4-hour drives trying to cultivate the perfect
Yeah, we
Instagram,
have lights, we have sound, we have social media.
Yeah.
All your bases covered.
And
We
farm.
have-
and
Yeah, I was
quiz.
gonna say lights, sound, human interaction.
Really? Yeah.
I gotcha.
In all its forms.
Yes.
And just as a heads up, cheat sheet, it's in the description. So, like, check them out.
Yeah, it's all there.
Absolutely.
To include links to the event so you can get tickets and all that shit since you people didn't want to win them. You can go ahead and buy them, which I get it. Even when I'm on a list, I still pay door because I want to pay the band. So, yeah, I get
We are
it.
happy if you want to pay us.
Thank you. Thank you desperately. Yes.
Yep.
Awesome. So check these guys out, and we'll see you Friday.
I'll
Or
bring
I'm
them
going
to
to
Joe.
yell at you.
Cause I can't wait, no, on a loaded gun. Can't go slow when I'm ready to run. No, I don't mean well, but I mean no harm. So guess it's better